Good morning, everybody. I trust we are doing great. So we're welcome to Microsoft Excel Masterclass, Lesson 1. So Lesson 1, we want to have a look. Okay, take a look at Excel environment. We want to take a look at the Excel environment, right? So this is our Excel. Loaded our Excel. Just before then, let's see, I've created a folder, and like I said, let me delete this. So you right click, create an Excel file, you right click, don't forget I have created my folder where I'll be storing in my Excel files. So you right click the folder, and of course the next thing is come to new, and you locate the Microsoft Excel worksheet. So you click on it. So once you click, you now have this as lesson 1. Okay, so always make sure whenever you are working with any file, you can read the file extension. Okay, if you are working in Windows 11, just simply come to view, right? Come to view and click on show, and of course you are going to see file extension. Okay, and once you click on it, you can see now my file extension has been deactivated, right? It's just normal file without the extension. So you come to view, then show, and I always check this. If you are working with Windows 10, you would have some menu bars here. So you just go to view, and then you see file extension. You check it so that you can see the .xlsx. Okay, so let's load our Excel workbook. So this is our Excel workbook. So this is the environment of the Excel workbook. But just before we start, why is being called a workbook? This is a workbook, and of course, as you expect in a book, you can have multiple sheets. So let us add, this is sheet 1 by default. What I mean by default is when you open an Excel workbook, the first sheet you will see is sheet 1. So let's add sheet 2. You can see sheet 3. So this adds the number of sheets for us. So this is now what we refer to as anyone now. So there is what you refer to as the active sheet. So if you click on this sheet 1 now, the background changes to white. Okay, while the others are in gray color. So this means this is the active sheet you are working on. You see, usually the very funny mistake we often make in Microsoft Excel workbook is that we must have forgotten, okay, that we are on sheet 3, while our expected work we will forget that we're supposed to have clicked on this sheet tab here, okay, for us to be able to work here, but we must have forgotten, and we click on sheet 3, and we'll do so, and we'll continue to work until we've now finished our work before we now suddenly realize that, oh, I needed to work on sheet 1. So we have to be mindful of the tabs we click on. So let's click on sheet 1. Now let's quickly explain what we mean by a workbook and a worksheet. Now I have here, this is an example of a book. This is a book, another book, this is a book, but we're just focused more on a book. So the Excel workbook. Okay, so what the Excel, so this is what you call Excel workbook. Just take this as a preamble. Okay, Excel workbook. Now you can see that in a book, you can see from this place to this place, this is the entire book. Is made up of what? Sheets. So So in this you can have sheet 1, sheet 2. I guess this one will be up to, like, let's say 1500 sheets, because you can see that this book is highly voluminous. Okay, so this is a typical example of a book here, right? This everything here. This is a typical example of a book. Okay, then in a book of you have these are the sheets. Okay, these are the individual sheet 1. You can have another sheet, then group of sheets, then the end sheet. Okay, so at every particular point in time, when you open an Excel workbook, you can have limitless or it's limitless number of sheets. You can add up to 1,000 sheets in your workbook. No, it can be just 10, but like in our case here, we can see that we just have 3 work sheets. Okay, what sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So you can keep adding your number of sheets. Okay, so if you notice, sheet 4, so this is sheet 4. Okay, and then of course this is sheet 5, sheet 6. So depending on the number of sheets you want to add, if you click here, if you click on add, it's just going to add a sheet just after sheet 2. You get the idea, right? And of course you can hold down your mouse and then drag to this point to arrange. In as much as you can create a sheet, you can also what? You can also delete your sheet. Okay, you can delete your sheet. Very possible for you to delete your sheet. So you just right click on the sheet and you delete. Right, so this is the number of sheets we have there. Let's click on the active sheet. Now this is what you refer to as the ribbon. Okay, what you refer to as the ribbon. So just here we have what you refer to as the quick access toolbar. Is what you refer to as the quick access toolbar. Okay, because you can quickly save, you can redo, you can undo, right? Then of course the whole of this is referred to as your, from here, the whole of this huge box here we refer to is as we refer to this as this. Okay, as our ribbon, right? Is our ribbon. Okay, so everything, this huge bar here is our ribbon. Okay, is our ribbon. Then just after that, we now have our menu. We have our menu tabs. We have the file tab, we have the home tab, insert tab, page tab, formula tab, data tab. Okay, we have each of the tabs. Now, so we have the home tab, we have the file command tab. It enables you to create new Excel worksheet or new Excel workbook. You're going to open, to save as, to print a sheet, right? And of course you can have your home tab, and in your home tab you have what you call, if you look at this, you have what you call your group. So this is the clipboard group. Okay, this is the so a very closer look. This is the clipboard group. This is the font group. In the clipboard group you have paste, cut, copy, and you have the format painter. Then of course on the, you have here the font group still under the home group. So the home group is going to be active, so anywhere you are on will be currently active, so you should take note of that. It's very important. Okay, so this is now, of course, you have the alignment, you have the number group, you have the style group, you have the sales group, and of course you have the editing group. So when you go to insert, come to insert, you can have the pivot table, recommended pivot table, you have table, you have pictures, you want to, okay, so sorry, all of these pivot, recommended pivot table. They are under the tables group. Then you have illustration group, adding group, chart group. You want to create a lot of charts, data analytics. Okay, your data, you want to plot charts, okay, data visualization, and actually carry them out here. These are your charts, okay. And of course, you have your sparkline filters. The list is just your text box, okay, your text under your text group. Then of course you have your symbol, the symbols for where you want to insert formulas, okay, insert formulas and all of that, okay, right. Then of course you have your page layout. You want to set your page. This is where you do that from. And of course your formulas. This provides a list of formulas for you from the library, okay. Of course you can have them here. They're so endless. So like this is maths, it is functions that you want to use. So you see, when we talk about functions, okay, they are just commands, right, that enables you to carry out a task much more effectively. Now there's what you refer to as, I hope, can we see on the mat? I'm looking for what you call, I was hoping we could be able to see. Okay, let's see. I was looking for what you refer to as the good average, okay, average, because let's say you want to get the average of 5 numbers now, right? These can help you to get, you can actually get them from here, okay, right. So basically that's what we have now. Then of course you have data where you can carry out. Most importantly, you have your get external data from external sources, okay. Then of course, like when you are working in Excel and you want to pull in data without you having to, key in or type in any data here, you can just get that from external sources, okay. Then of course you have your get and transform, you have your connections, sort and filter, you have your data tools, okay, whereby you can validate your data, you have your review, and then of course you have data entry whereby you can create your form. So with time we would see when you create your form, it looks more like a graphical user interface. So let's go back to our home. So we're now on the home tab, okay. Now this is what you refer to as your name box. It tells you which box you are currently in. Like you can see now, these are what you refer to as your cells, okay. You refer to this as a cell. This is a cell, okay. You can type in them, right. So that's where you enter your data in this cell. You can type in numbers, okay. Type in numbers, okay. Now what you notice is that if I click on this cell and you look here, it's telling me the name of the box or the cell I'm currently in, okay. And that you can see that, and I told us in the beginning that an Excel environment is made up of what? Alright, okay, is made up of your columns, okay, your column which is vertically oriented. Then you now have your rows which is horizontally oriented. So these are your columns. Now let's see, if you hold down Control and you press your, so this is what you do. Let me show you on your keyboard now, okay, on screen keyboard. If you hold down Control and you press your right arrow key, it takes you to the very last column here, and that's column what? XFD. And for you to go back to your the first column A, just hold down Control and press the back arrow key, so it returns you back here, right? Good. Now again, if I hold down Control and I press this key, and let's say I want to go back to my correct my first column, okay, you can just press Control and then you press look for home on your keyboard, so it brings you here. Now that we know that our last column is column XFD, that's almost 20,000 plus column, okay. It's very huge, very huge column, okay. Then what is the last row that we have? Same, you hold down control and press your down arrow key. Okay, so hold down your control and press your down arrow key. So let's see if it's not working. Let me try to make use of my keyboard here. Control down. Okay. Okay. Alright, I think what happened is this. I already have, let's say if I do not have any input, okay? So ordinarily, so if you press control down, can you see it brings you to 1,048,576 row? So I press control up. So this is what I mean. You see we're on the first row here, right? And if we on our keyboard, then you say control, you press your down arrow key, it brings you to the last. Look at it here now. So it's very large. Okay, can you see this is the last row, 1,048,576 row. So you can see it's very large. Okay, now what happened initially was that just that. Okay, so what happened initially was that we had typed in, so come here, press control, okay, and home, or you press up, whichever it takes you first. So what happened was that since I typed here the other time, that was why when you press the down arrow key it wasn't working. Okay, so now that we've seen the total number of our rows and columns, we can now proceed. Okay, now let's see a much more vivid explanation about. So this is our number row. This tells us the number of our rows. This tells us the column letter. Okay, column letter. I prefer this to be column letter. This letter, not actually number. Column letter. Okay, column letter. Column letter. Let's display letter, right? So this is our column letter because you can see they're in letter, right? Now we have this as our active cell. This is our cells. This is our cells, and based on the cell you are, this is the cell reference. Then of course this the longest bar in Excel is what we refer to as the formula bar. That's when you key in your formula. Okay, then the other thing, yeah, these are your sheets. Okay, and we've created sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Now let's go back to our environment as we look at so this is your vertical scroll bar. This is vertical. Oh, sorry. This is the vertical. Is the so this is the vertical scroll bar, and of course this is the horizontal scroll bar. So this enables you to move leftward and rightwards, up and down. Okay, now let's, so next thing is so now this is what we refer to as our normal view. Okay, normal view. This shows us our normal grid. Then of course this is what we refer to as our page layout. That you want to print and you want to arrange your print layout, you do that from here. And of course this is what we refer to as what, our page break preview. Now you see, when you begin to work in Excel, you begin to create your tables, okay, and your templates. This is where you can actually see an outline of when you want to print. Now, what do I mean? For us to be able to get a good grasp of this, there's what we have to call creating our work area. So this slide bar here is to zoom in. Okay, you want to zoom in and you want to zoom out. As you zoom in and you zoom out, you can see now. Okay, so we just keep it at 100. Okay, now I'm going to click. So on a normal environment, you can work in these two environments. You can work in your normal view, you can work in your what? Well, page break preview. But whenever you are working, okay, you can just place it in your normal view. But if your work, okay, that you are carrying out will involve you to print, for you to be able to monitor your page, okay, then you have to place it on your page break preview, right? Good. So now, very quickly, let us create a work environment. So creating a work environment is, you can see all these grid lines now, they are all faint. Okay, they are faint. So once you want to create our work area, okay, we can have it as this. So creating our work area. So once you create your work area, now you just highlight where you want to create a work area. Okay, so we've identified this area now, right? So let's say 1 2 3 4 5. So just to E, and you come to your column, and then you say what? All borders. Can you see now? All borders. So the moment you say all borders, this area now is more active than the other sides. Okay, and when you now come click on your page preview button here, it now selects this as your what? As your page 1. So we have come to the end of lesson 1. So in lesson 1, we've been able to identify the work area, the work Excel workbook, and we say it's made up of multiple worksheets. And work at a sheet, the time in a workbook, right? And of course, we have identified our ribbons, our menu tabs, our groups, all the menus there. Okay, we've even seen how to proceed ahead to create our active work area. So in the next video, in lesson 2, we'll see how to populate or add data to our table and proceed with basic mathematical computation or arithmetic computation in our Excel. So have a wonderful day and God bless you. God bless you.